Good morning, guys. Trying to make sure this is going. All right, so let me just adjust this just a little bit there. Want this to be right smack in the middle. All right, so it's a Friday morning. We made it again. No doubt that we would make it, but hey, it's Friday. So we're gonna make this great sign here. Life is a beautiful ride, and it has this hot air balloon. It is layered, so we're gonna be drying in between and we're gonna be waxing in between. So we have our transfers. These are brand new. I've put an X on the back so that we know that these are the backs. These do not have an X, so I lied. Okay, so we're gonna put an X on the back of these. We've used that part before. The rest of this has not been used. So I am simply putting an X on the back that tells me when I am done and I've washed these and I'm gonna put them back onto the backer. Do not put them back onto that side. Make sure this is dry. Okay. So we have our cute little hot air balloon here that has many pieces to it. And then we have this tiny one here. It has one color and then a layer of little, it's like a little scallop. And this will be the first part. So, and that's debatable because you could do either. You actually could do either. It really wouldn't matter. I may go ahead and do, this is wider, so I will do this bigger area first and then line that up. It really doesn't matter. They don't overlap. They simply join so that you have stripes. So either way is fine. And then at the top we have our little saying. I'm gonna do it a little bit diagonal. If you've ever seen hot air balloons fly, they don't always fly completely straight. They're usually going up at an angle a little bit. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna fold my corners under. I like to do this. It makes it easier for me to pull my transfer. I usually go through and I will fold all of the corners first. It makes it easier to pull off of here too, so I'm not sitting there struggling while I'm trying to do a video. So I will fold these real quickly. But have any of you guys gone to a hot air balloon fiesta? When I lived in Albuquerque, which was for just a couple of years, we moved over there in 2003 and lived there till 2007. So we went to the hot air balloon, the balloon fiesta, which was really awesome off of Paseo del Norte. And there are hundreds of hot air balloons. So the amazing thing about these is that they can get them all to go up and not hit each other and just float there beautifully. I loved watching them. I actually had an office that was just a couple of blocks from there where I worked, and we could see them on the morning of the ascent, and they would float past the window, and that was pretty awesome. Kind of miss that sometimes. And then the other thing is, okay, so I need to be telling you about this. Sorry, I'll finish the story, but later. So when a transfer is brand new, you're gonna fuzz it. Fuzzing is simply putting onto a towel, a t-shirt, whatever. You are going to get a little bit of the sticky off so it doesn't stick too much to your surface. This surface is more of a chalkboard feel. I took a rag that I had used before that had wax on it, and I simply wiped it, and I took my paper towel. This is the wax that I use, but I just used a towel I'd previously used that had some wax on it, because this surface feels like it's going to be fine. It's going to release fine. It's not going to stick too bad. So anyways, you are going to get your design ready. We're going to put another hot air balloon right here. We may put two. Let me think about that. Gonna fuzz that. Sorry, guys. It is Friday. I do have an excuse. I am ready for the weekend. It's been one of those weeks. And by that I mean it's been a paperwork week for me. I do not get to do this all day. I do not get to just sit and play, which would be great, but we have several businesses and I'm always multitasking. One of them, my main job, is bookkeeping. So that is what I do. I am a bookkeeper and I do that anywhere from 45 or 40 to 60 hours a week, unfortunately. I have 2 construction companies that I do bookkeeping for. One of them is very large and the other is smaller but growing and is catching up with the other one. So sometimes it's a little bit more than what I signed up to do, but you just do it. So I'm applying my chalk paste to my transfer. I'm going to do this one first because it's overlapping the words. So this is Peacock. Our chalk paste, you want it to be the consistency of sour cream or yogurt, and you're just going to press it down into the transfer through the silk screen, and then you're going to squeegee off the excess, put it back into your jar because you can use that for another project, and then you're going to pull your transfer. You're going to pull from top to bottom or side to side, never diagonally. Diagonally will stretch it. This is going to go into a water bath, and you can see the silk screen. So these are similar to a stencil, but it is a silk screen transfer. I have a container of water over there in my sink, and I am simply placing that in there so I can wash it later. We're going to do the words up here. I'm going to do this in our bright white. So as you can see, you stir it. If you need to add a little bit of water, you can simply spritz it with a spray bottle and stir it. You want it to be the consistency of sour cream or yogurt. Simply put it on your transfer and then squeegee it around. So when we lived over in New Mexico, we lived in a town called Rio Rancho. So we were outside of Albuquerque, and it was a up and coming town. It was growing rapidly. A lot of people from California went there. A lot of people from Utah, Arizona. It was the place to go to get a house, huge house on land, acres and acres of land, and get it very reasonable. So we got our dream house. We lived out in the desert in this dream house, and unbeknownst to me, I was allergic to sagebrush, so that was not a fun thing. So during the time when the sagebrush was blooming, I was inside. But we had many times on, oops, I can see, I'm gonna see if I can blow that off. Oh goodness. All right, so a little tiny piece of the white fell down into there. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'll try to get it out in a minute. I think that I can get it out, or I can actually take my stylus. That was off of the jar. So I am just going to take some of my peacock color and I am putting it over that, and I will be fine with that. Okay, so we're good now. All right. Don't stress. It's Friday. You made it. So at our house out in Rio Rancho, many Saturday mornings we would wake up and there would be hot air balloons floating all around out there. They had to practice. They would go out and they would just play around. So they would float. And a hot air balloon, when it floats, does not always, they're not always capable of going where they want to go. So they can control where they go, but then sometimes a wind gust might take them in an unexpected direction. We had one land right in our backyard. And the sad thing about that was that our dog was really afraid of them. They make this loud noise like whoosh, like a loud noise as they're hitting the gas or whatever it is, the propane. I'm not sure what they use. So it would make that noise and she would just freak out. It was so sad. But it was really cool to see because you could be sitting there eating breakfast. I'm going to put another one right here. And you know what? I am going to grab another color quickly. I'm just going to grab a purple and we are just going to go. It's going to be okay because there's not that much on there. I'm just going to dip into my container quickly and spread. If it doesn't work, we will just wash it off. So it's not quite even. So we'd be sitting there eating breakfast and have hot air balloons fly by our dining room window, and it was pretty awesome. Pretty cool. So that reminds me, this sign reminds me of that. It was a different time in my life, and then we moved back to California. So I still do bookkeeping for the company I worked for over there. I just do it remotely. So I'm going to dry this. This is a heat gun. You can use a hair dryer. You can use a craft dryer. You can simply walk away and come back when it's dry. You're going to continually move your heat gun so you don't bubble up your chalk paste. You can tell it's drying as the color starts to change. So the area that we touched up, it did not change as much because it is thicker, but it will dry. It is just a little thicker. When it completely dries, you won't be able to see that. But for right now, it is thick. So gonna go ahead and do the next layer. These are the stripes. So the next layer is going to be lined up, and I'm going to fuzz it a couple of times. So I have it on my fuzzing cloth here, and you're going to use the terry cloth side. I recently learned that. I've been using the other side. I've been using the soft side because I like the soft side. So this is going to be in our Couture teal, and I am simply looking through here, lining it up underneath. Gonna press this down. You want all your air bubbles out of the silkscreen area. Gonna spoon on some of your Couture teal, and then we're just gonna spread this with a squeegee. So we have different squeegees available in our catalog. There are many different colors. I'm gonna look at this again. This is actually not Couture teal, it's aquamarine. I just realized that it's a little bit lighter, and that's okay, but I didn't want you to think this color is very similar to Couture teal. It's just a little bit lighter. Then we're going to peel our transfer, and there is our hot air balloon colors. Awesome. So I could have done other colors down here, but I am just showing you. So you could do that. You could tape it off, and you could do that. You could wash it and go back and redo that area. So you could do the top, and then you could come back after you've cleaned your transfer and do the bottom. You could just use painter's tape to tape that off if it makes it easy. So we're going to dry this. We're going to do it so we can do our next part. Let me make sure it's not hot. So I don't know why that's staying that color. I guess time will tell. I think it will blend out as it finishes drying. I think it's going to blend right in. I think I want brown. I'm gonna get like a little, this is light chocolate. This is the color that I mixed. So I'm just gonna grab this out of my drawer, give it a stir. It looks fine. I'm gonna use this for the basket. I think I'd like that better than just white. So I'm gonna fuzz this on my towel. And then I'm gonna line this up. Have you ever seen the hot air balloons that are in different shapes? That's pretty amazing. The first time that I saw them was at the Balloon Fiesta, and I don't even know what my favorite shape is. There's just so many different cartoony type shapes. I just love them all. I'm gonna pull my transfer. This is going into my water bath. And then I'm gonna do this part. It's kind of odd. I couldn't quite figure out how this all lines up, but I think that it just lines up in this empty area right here. To me, it looks like upside down hearts, but I'm gonna fuzz this on my towel twice so it doesn't stick and take my chalk paste off my last layer. Just gonna line it up in there and we'll see. I think it's just there for highlight. So I am just going to use my white. Just going to put my bright white on there, just a little bit. Going to use a multi-tool. This has a little end on it that you can spread with. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to pull my transfer. Okay, so that worked. I don't know if it's supposed to be down in here. I'm okay with that where it's at. It was really hard to line up, and this one actually is out here in the middle of nowhere, and I am simply going to remove that. Just taking a damp finger and wiping that off. I'm going to put one there that's closer. So I could have done a better job with lining that up, but I didn't. But that's okay. I'm gonna fix that. Just gonna take a paper towel, wipe that, and I'm gonna take my stylus and I am just going to put a little dot right there. So, and then I'm going to make it so it's not round. Just like that. Okay. These have a little bit of a scallopy accent, the smaller ones. So I'm just going to try to fit this in here. It's hard to see. It really is hard to see in there. Well. Okay. Alrighty then. We'll try that. We'll try that. We don't need very much. I'm just going to dip my multi-tool in there. And we'll just see how this looks. Hoping for the best. Okay, that's how it's supposed to look. It's hard for me to see. So, some of it is guesswork. Oh my goodness. It is hard to see in there. I can see that's not right. I'm trying to see through here. And at some point I'm just gonna do it because we're just gonna get her done. All right, good enough. All right, guys. So that's our project for today. Life is a beautiful ride. And I could put another little hot air balloon over here, but I won't do it now. I am not sure why this is not blending in. I could go over that again. I could wash that and I could go over that whole thing. May do that. Let's do that. Okay, so that is bugging me. I am going to wash my transfer, wiping it with my Clorox wipe. We're gonna do that area again because that is bothering me. And we will see. Hopefully, hopefully I don't just mess up the whole thing. But the great thing is that if I do, this whole thing is erasable, meaning that I can simply wipe this thing off and start over. It's that easy. All right, so I'm gonna dry this first really quickly. Okay, so I have this is my peacock chalk paste. I don't know why that is still a different color. So it's bugging me, so I'm gonna do something about it. So I've washed my transfer and it's not too sticky. I'm gonna line it up. We're gonna go for it again because I want to be able to show you how to fix that because it is dry and it's not changing to the correct color. So we're just gonna redo it. And sometimes you have to do that. I want to make sure that it's completely down. You don't need to do the whole thing. I'm going to leave that so I can pull that. We are simply going to redo that area. I'm going to just take a small squeegee and we're just going to work our chalk paste in. And we're gonna hope that this fixes it. If it doesn't, then it is just going to be the way it is. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna pull our transfer. Perfect. Okay, so that fixed it. Sorry guys, I was just wanting to make sure that I got it perfect for you. Doesn't always have to be perfect, but I wasn't happy. So, there we go. So don't panic if something doesn't turn out the way you want it in the beginning. You can go back and fix it. I could wipe this entire board off and start over. Don't get frustrated. Just keep trying. It doesn't always come easy. Sometimes these projects are harder than others. Some days will be harder than others. Just keep going. If you want to know about Couture, if you want to learn how you can join and become a designer, just leave me a message below. I'd be more than happy to share all of that information with you. It's a great opportunity to join. It's only $99 for your kit. You get an awesome kit. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get on with my work day. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.